speakers, but the following rules and regulations must be adhered to. Use your real name as your Zoom screen name. Secondly, your video camera must be on before you can be allowed to contribute. Make sure you are in a silent and quiet environment to avoid unnecessary noise so as not to distract the meeting. If you want to contribute, kindly raise your hand or chat the admin privately or send a message to the platform. Thank you. I believe we can officially commence the meeting now. So I would like to call on Comrade Otumba Hamzat to give us the opening prayer.
Comrade Hamzat,
hello.
Please
good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Well, without wasting much of the time, I want to say, glory be unto God, who has made today a reality for us. We pray unto Him to guide us, lead us aright, and make our deliberations fruitful. And I believe at the end of the day, we pray that we have our cause to glorify His holy name. Amen. Thank you so much.
Amen. Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for the opening prayer. So I would briefly give us the opening address. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is our immense delight to have you today, and on behalf of the entire team of Oshodi Mature League, we welcome you all to today's section. Thank you very much. The next on our agenda is a recap of last edition, which is titled A New Mayor, What Next? So I think I'll be handing over to my co-moderator and the person of Comrade Galadima to help us with a recap of last edition. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening and good day, whenever we are. And I believe from the last edition, we are able to discuss about the Oshodi as it was and as it is now. And we were able to discuss what needs to be carried out by this present administration. And we all agree after the meeting that there's need for us to come together irrespective of our political affiliations, irrespective of our beliefs, irrespective of of who we are within the community. Now, what should be our primary objective is all seeing the present mayor in Oshodi to succeed. And after the meeting, we come into conclusion that this kind of program should be coming up at least once in a month, whereby we suggest ideas, we suggest an opinion for the present mayor. And in doing that, everybody in the community can be seeing what is expected and what the mayor is doing presently. And from our last meeting, I so much believe that from what we discussed during the last meeting, at least we have been saying, like, if not up to 20% that the mayor is doing now in Oshodi. So we believe that the time for political activities has passed. This is time to do the re-governance, and this is time to really enjoy the good dividend of democracy and putting also our community first in anything that matters to us. And that is what we discussed in the last edition. And we have the last one of the media head of the immediate past mayor was even in the meeting. His person of Comrade D. Wise. He was there, and I so much appreciate the presence of Comrade Sheifun Babatunde. He was also there in the last edition, and so many people that were there, and we're still expecting them. And what I believe is that together we can make our community great once again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You have to unmute yourself, ma.
Okay, sorry. Thank you very much, Sam, for a recap of the last section. As you have said it all, and then it was titled New Mayor, What Next? Now, we are here today to discuss another topic on the roundtable, synergy, an essential code for developmental growth in Oshodi. I believe that teamwork produces better results when we form a synergy. As we all know, the chairman himself can't do it alone. He needs everyone. Oshodi belongs to me, Oshodi belongs to you, belongs to everybody. So we need to come together to form that synergy so as to take Oshodi to a greater height. And then we'll be having a seasoned speaker in the house who is going to shed more light and discuss more with us on today's topic, synergy, an essential code for developmental growth in Oshodi. Our guest speaker for today is the person of Mr. Yusuf Ajibola. Mr. Yusuf Ajibola holds a Bachelor of Science degree in economics from University of Lagos. He's also an HND holder in accounting from Yabate. He's a student member with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and also a student member of Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. He's also a teacher in the Western School. He's also an Arabic teacher in an Islamic school. Wonderfully, he's a coach in Taekwondo. And also one of his idiosyncrasy is to learn little of many things. So our guest speaker will be discussing and throwing more light on today's topic. So I would like to welcome our guest speaker in the person of Mr. Yusuf Jamil Ajibola. You're welcome to this roundtable section, sir. So I'll be handing over to you, sir. Please, can you kindly unmute yourself while I unmute yourself. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Hafsat Ibrahim. Am I correct? It's really a great pleasure, an opportunity to be in the midst of learned friends, colleagues, like minds that we can always share views on societal occurrences and how we can forge ahead as an ideal people in the environment. It's a great honor and I'm quite appreciative of it. I hope with a forum like this, we'll be able to actualize greater potentials in us and the coming generations to take up from where we must have put some things necessary in place. Without wasting much time, the topic before me is really an idea that establish what an ideal society should be. Synergy is a form of collectivity, a system where actions are combined, or simply put, effectiveness of a result through combined effort. It means before there can be collectivity, there must have been individuality. The Englishman or people do say that two heads are better than one. But we have been corrected on some instances like that, that it is better put that two good heads are better than one. Not just any type of people coming together. Drunkards can be together, people in the club, but here we are establishing an environment to discuss what individual input contributions is going to make to create a well-developed and ideal society. So I said earlier that before there can be collectivity, a synergy, a pool of resources to actualize certain goals and objectives. This is why what we can discuss that we want certain things to be done in Oshodi will be quite different from what some other people will be discussing in their own respective environments. This is why in a subject or in a field like economics, we were told that ideas differs from individual to environment. Anytime we are dealing with human actions, then it will continue to be dynamic. What we want in Nigeria from political, economic, or social perspective will be different from another society entirely. So before we can now have such collectivity, there must have been how well is the individual, how have you been able to develop yourself that you can make positive contributions to such environments, that if Mr. A acquires some ideas, what you think, if we do this in this environment, I think it will help us one way or the other, either from a religious point of view. Another person can make his own contribution from economic point of view. We have, by the time we now pull those resources together, then it will create such a union that we'll be able to pull the good side of what we intended and do away with any sort of negativities. So this is why an individual must be able to reorientate himself from whatever perspective, that you have to define what your personality is and how you are to pursue it vigorously. I may need to cite some few examples. There was a man called Michael Hart who made a research, and the topic of his research is an individuality or greatest individuals in the world. He was able to itemize people one after the other, various individuals, from religious, from political, from scientific point of view, and in the long run, based on his opinion, he stated why someone will occupy a certain position, that an individual that try to orientate people and give people ideas how well to survive, how well to lead a society, how well to show good examples to people, the individual person. He was able to mention the likes of Buddha, Confucianists, scientists, Isaac Newton, Michael Faraday. From religious point of view, he mentioned Jesus Christ, he mentioned John, and the likes of them. And he was giving the individual's contributions to humanity. Then, how well were people able to live on with such the individual's concept, and how large is the crowd that the individual is able to convince that, okay, after their death, does their ideology of movement died with them? That from that individual point of view, an individual must be able to determine or define that who am I, and what can I do, how can I make a difference in an environment I found myself, that how well can I put an indelible mark on the surface of the earth, that whether I'm living or I'm dead, people will always make reference to what I have done. So I will also refer to two political personality in our environment. And one is the present president of Nigeria, in person of President Muhammad Buhari, that he contested election for a number of periods. The first time he lost the second time, he had to move from one political party to another. He's still contesting until in the long run, he was able to achieve that. Regardless of his political affiliation or his personality, whether I'm a pro-Buhari or not, it doesn't make any difference. But the little idea we can inherit, we can share from this is he was persistent. The principle of perseverance, that you're not giving up on your goals and objective, is something that we can learn from. Regardless of how we want to do things, it is not automatic that what we have initiated will be successful at the first attempt. So it means by the time we do it again and again and again, in the course of doing it, we will have seen how what we did wrong that made us not to succeed, and the opportunity to create new ideas that will actually give us an edge and experience from what we have done previously. The second person is the current chairman in Oshodi. Is no gainsaying that he had contested or he had wished to be the chairman to occupy one or two political posts for quite a while now. And because he was persistent, he didn't give up on his goal. In the long run, he achieved it. At least we were able to cite this, and individually, we will have one or two reference points on what we have done previously, and maybe for one or two, we didn't succeed in it, but out of perseverance and persistence, we are able to do it. I will want to use myself also as an illustration. I, being a coach in Taekwondo, is an idea that people perceive that this is a program that has to do with the act of fighting or self-defense or an Olympic games. While I enrolled for the program, there were 50 students that registered, and it spanned over 4-year program. And in the long run, only 3 students succeeded and graduated. So this is to tell you that in the course of life adventures, some people will have to fall off. That what separates the grains from the shaft is an individual's ability not to give up or to create a niche, a uniqueness for him or herself. By the time you now see that this is what I can do in the environment, and the next stage will be to look for like minds that you can share views with, and in the long run, you combine your ideas. This is why I will consider myself quite fortunate that I'm in this type of environment where I can rather learn. And the idea of learning little of many things, it is not just something personal. It's what some teachers have taught in classes that I was able to establish as a team. That in the course of you learning little here, learning little there, like the case of a student was mentioned who enrolled in a school. He studied course A, graduated. Due to his love for knowledge, he said he still preferred to be in the school environment. He went back and studied course B. He went back again and studied course C. That in the long run, he is a BSc holder, a graduate, and his colleague that were in a particular department, they became lecturers, they became professors. But in the course of him having little of many things, that they were now called together to discuss something. And hearing him out, he succeeded in creating such a personality that knows little of many things. So that is a kind of philosophy that will create a human investment in an individual, that human investment will be able to make great impact in the lives of people in his environment. So in addition to this, an individual must see himself as not standing for nothing. That means I cannot claim to be apolitical, that I'd rather sit on the fence, that when we are discussing political issues in Oshodi, for example, and if the current chairman is an APC member, and for the fact that I am not APC does not make me neutral, that I should now sit on the fence. In any little way, I should be able to reach out that this is what I think, or out of a practical scenario that could assist us more in the environment. If I present myself as belonging to a certain political environment, that I'm a PDP member, I'm not saying I am, but if I should present such to the government, and due to the fear of opposition, my voice is not heard, then I will have to look for other means. That is my individual, where I must not see myself standing for nothing. What I believe in, or a system that I've seen working in one or two other places, I should be able to make such suggestion or contribution of such environment. I will cite the case of some religious body, and I'm not citing this to bring a stain on any religion or on any personality. That, for example, people tend to see the word Islam or Muslim as a fanatic religion. Some will have such belief, and this is why the moment someone pass an insult to the prophet of Islam, then the Muslims will want to take it up, that look, this is the mode of activities and operation in Islam. You can insult me, but don't insult, the basis of the religion, and they take that up. So it means they are not, they are standing for something, rather they are not standing for nothing. But unlike, maybe if, for example, I put on a shirt and I wrote Jesus is gay, I can move from Lagos to Ibadan to any part of the world, and I think I'll be safe. But if I should do that to another religion, especially in Islam, I may not succeed, live beyond a street where at least. So this means, to an extent, they stand for something, that this is what they believe in, and they will hold on to it tenaciously. And you can see the collectivity in what they do about their religious belief. So with this, I think one can create such scenario, citing some examples, that if you look at our immediate environment in Oshodi, although there have been some improvement in some sectors, if we are to cite, for example, the old Brown Street that serve as one of the major link between Oshodi and Mafoluku, and to some other environment, Solo and some places, we know how filthy that environment was. And one way or the other, it must have been some people's idea that we can do something and we can make little change here. Somebody must have continuously be creating the awareness on the radio, on the TV, going in person to meet people in authority, that this place is not an ideal environment. People are living here and exposing their lives to danger. The transporters are not thriving. That you want to make effort to succeed, and earn a living, but the environment is not conducive enough for you to do this. Someone somewhere must have continuously be pushing this effort. And in the long run, the person succeed. It doesn't matter whether it's the one that come there in person to start doing the repairs, but he initiated the idea with the government and he pursued it vigorously. So, from another perspective, I would like us to see why, if an individual so much work on himself, it will create like a ripple in an ocean, that it always starts little, that by the time you throw a stone in the water, the effect and the impact starts gradually and it starts expanding. By the time we now see such individuals from various perspectives or from various fields of endeavor, human activities, someone can go extra mile to influence people positively. I can cite some in the world environment, those from historical point of view that are regarded as the greatest warlords, that over time they control at least, if not half, they control more than half of the whole world, an individual. We can Google some of these to at least prove, to get fact about them. We mentioned someone like Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great lived and died within 30 years. It means he died, I think, around 32. And Alexander the Great controlled more than 2/3 of the world in his conquests, battles from one end to another. Another person is whom we call Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan is a Mongolian warlord, one of the Asian warlords. He also acts in that capacity, though he grew old. He died at old age, but yet his personality was, he succeeded in creating such a personality for himself that people believe in him, people obey him, and he's able to amass large crowd for himself. As a result of this, he was able to conquer many environments. We have the likes of Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon was also a general in the battlefield, and due to his prowess, individual prowess, he was able to at least maneuver environments and he won many battles. They are not without their personal shortcomings. Perhaps if they have tried to combine efforts rather than the individual thing, this is what we can learn from now. They are so great as a person, but perhaps out of power tussle, or perhaps out of human shortcomings, they only live by their personal idea and principle. And this is why they couldn't actually actualize the dream of where they want to be. But history have it as a record that they control vast area of land. Another person is Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler might have been seen by many as an evil person who killed many. But from experience, we will have seen that the moment the world is unable to agree on some principles, that I need not insist that my idea must always be lauded. My idea must always supersede all others. That I give in little, I take in little. I accept other people's view and respect it, just like I want other people to respect mine. That on this basis, war started out of individuals' misunderstanding. The First World War started because there were cliques, and we have polypolar worlds where people are forming alliances. That my friend, if you are my friend, then you must be an enemy to my enemy. They started forming alliances and cliques that in the long run, the misunderstanding between two individuals escalated to become a world war. And this is what Adolf Hitler, maneuver that his own race, the Aryan race, should dominate the world, and started strategizing. And in the long run, he made some impact, either good or bad. As an individual, he made his impact. Then let's now come down that if I am very good in the act of civil engineering, we not going to the higher institution this time around, that I'm a bricklayer, if you have to use that common language, and I'm very good with what I'm doing. Another person is a farmer who is very good at what he's doing, and we have various individuals from that perspective. It's a matter of, okay, let's come together. What do you have? What can you contribute to assist us in areas of where we need? Even if someone is even if it is ordinary link that we need federal government support, someone can always create a link that it is from that collective effort while we pull resources together that we'll be able to make little of this achievement. So this is why the only code that can bring about development in Oshodi is until we as an individual, we try to develop ourselves from various perspectives. And that development now, is like a seed that is growing over time. Before you know it, the effort in trying to maintain, weed, and sustain the plant, we grow, and we succeed in and germinate in the long run. So this is what I am actually calling us to, that our collectivity should be able to build a future. Not just a future, but an ideal future where there will be peace in the environment. And when I say peace, let's look at the Nigerian scenario, that one of the greatest challenge the Buhari's government is having is insecurity. No one feels secure that if I'm to travel from here to the north, I'll have to think twice that what I'm going there to do, does it worth my life? Because I can't guarantee my own safety in my environment. If you think the Nigerian, or moving from Lake Oshodi to Abuja or to Adamawa or Maiduguri is far, what is happening there can equally happen in Oshodi. How do we create such peaceful coexistence where, okay, a friend called me to some gathering, and I felt I was called to make a prayer, and because the others are Christians, and I want to pray my Muslim way, and people will frown at it. That is not the kind of peace we are talking about. That we must be tolerant of our individuals' differences, which means in as much as I am, and I know who I am and what are those things I think I believe in, and other people too exist as such, there won't be a society in the long run if two or more people are not coming together to tolerate one another. Another example of such ideal future in Oshodi is to look towards greater infrastructures. That it has to be with, okay, someone initiating an idea, and that idea, if it is pursued vigorously, even we, the participants, we may not know to what extent this thing will develop into. It is like a multiplier effect, that the 1 naira you spend today can in the long run become a billion naira if it is well managed. Let's look at the case of those we call the Asian tiger economy. The Asian tiger are some Asian countries like Hong Kong, that is the administrative capital of China. We have Singapore, we have Indonesia.
Comrade, because of our time, we can't leave and round off so that Nabi can make contribution as well. Because people are still going to make contribution to narrow what we have been telling us this morning down to Oshodi, but in particular. So we appreciate you. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm grateful as well. So can I make my conclusion, please?
Yes, I can go ahead, sir. Can go ahead.
Okay. The Asian tiger, within a span of 40 years, they were able to develop their society beyond the world imagination. In the 70s, Nigeria was exporting palm oil to Singapore. But today, Singapore is one of the world exporter of palm oil. Look at the development in United Arab Emirates and the likes. Over 40 years, they were able to achieve it. So if you have such goal in Oshodi, we won't be talking about there is electricity or not. If you can initiate an idea where we have various sources of electricity, apart from the hydro, we have the thermal, we have windmill and the likes. By the time we want to initiate one or two, the costs, reaching out to some environments that can subsidize or assist in terms of fund, if it is only that source of electricity, in this discussion, we succeeded in doing. We know we have curbed the problem of electricity in the provision of infrastructure in Oshodi. And from there, by the time there is stable power supply, that is the basis of industrialization and development. Then from there, we can now think of what is the next line of action. Through that, Oshodi, being a central metropolis, can achieve the kind of greatness or feat that is comparable to Dubai or to New York or to any of the other industrialized cities in the world. So I will welcome other avenue where I can also learn in addition to the little I've presented. So thank you once again for the opportunity afforded me.
Thank you very much, sir. We truly appreciate you for this wonderful section. And I believe we have people, other participants that would also like to make contributions or probably have one or two questions. So maybe a brief one. I believe we can achieve a lot in Oshodi. But as it is right now, yes, the chairman is working and we appreciate him and every other facilitator in order to ensure that Oshodi is a great place. But I realize that there's this division. How can we put all our sentiments aside so as to, because I believe, yes, religion, religious beliefs, various caucus and everything. Okay. Hello.
Hello, comrade. Okay, I think we can.
Yeah, sorry, having network issues here.
Oh no, we can see hear you. I can see hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
So okay, I think let me pick you up from that. And
okay.
If you have any contribution, you can signify by raising up your hand, and the admin will unmute you. And this to come to our notice, this program is being live streamed on our YouTube channel, Oshodi Martial League, and it's being live streamed. And on our YouTube channel, people are watching us live there as well as this program is going on. And I think we want to narrow the topic down to Oshodi community. And And I would like to give room for people to view their to say their views and opinion. What is going in the last 30 days backward? What have we seen in Oshodi? Has there been any change in Oshodi? Have we noticed any change in Oshodi as well? So let us discuss this and let us suggest a better way forward for the new mayor. And that's why we said we need to put aside all our differences. We need to put aside all our cancers. We need to put aside all anything that would have been burdening us from the last regime up to June this year that a new election was carried out. So it is now for us to go ahead. I think I have Comrade Soloki Benga. And so before you can make contribution, you have to on your video so that our online viewers can see that. I've asked you to unmute yourself now. Comrade Soloki Moses Olubenga, that is the media, the press secretary to the new mayor in Oshodi. You are welcome, sir. You can unmute yourself.
I hope you guys are okay. My name is.
Your video is not on, sir. Your video is not on, sir.
My video, sorry. I'm the Bushman.
Can you put your camera on, sir?
I don't know. Have I not done it?
No. Just check your camera there. You see it. I think it's on at the middle side of the phone.
Yeah, you see video,
okay.
short video. You remove the cross on it.
Okay, you are live now. You are live now, sir. You are live, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, good evening now, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Based on the question you have just asked, I think it is pertinent to first and foremost salute your commitment, your doggedness, and your patriotism to the cause of the common good people. Firstly, I will say that I will also lay the card bar as an activist, as a political commentator, and a public affairs analyst. Number one, the Nigerian youth have been so docile, they have not been able to take political power. They have refused to engage in participatory democracy. It's just about condemnation. It's about saying this government has not done it well while some of them are not ready. If you will ask how many of our youth could also provide their permanent voters cards, that's number one. Number two, it is easier for us to stand in the confines of our rooms and our offices to throw jabs at those whom have decided to take the gauntlets to want to participate in this democratic process. So at the end of the day, if you have failed to participate in a democratic process, definitely you will be led by those who have taken all the gauntlets. Either they are qualified, either they are humane, either they are patriotic or not. The law says go and participate. If you are not participating, then you cannot condemn those who are there because you had ample opportunity of participating. So coming to our hood here in Oshodi, I will say, like the question you have just asked, I think I must say this with all emphasis at my desk, that the new sheriff in town, Otumba Kehinde Almaroof Oloyede, did promise during the electioneering that no matter what, 20 roads will be rehabilitated to celebrate his 100 days in office. And if you can go around, you will see that most of the wards are being affected by, the old local government had been turned into construction sites from Akiniku Street to Orono Link, Dosumu Street, Oyegun, Shogule, that's Olukewula and Retioluwa. Also, he assured that 20 balls will be drilled, which is also ongoing. So, a new sheriff in town has also assured that the youth of Oshodi will immensely benefit from his government, knowing fully well that, any investment on the youth will trigger most of them into a fruitful production. So that's why I would want to say that, look, we have a right as youth of the country to participate in democratic process, either at the lowest level, at the highest level. That we are trying once, second time, it's not working, does not mean that we will not get there. Then secondly, we must also ensure that whoever is there, we should engage in constructive criticism. I say this with all fair emphasis at my beck and call, that you have a right to also castigate leadership, but it must be done within the confines of the law. You cannot just sit down and impugn or malign somebody's integrity and say you are castigating. No. So we must do that. Then also, no matter where we are today, it was the effort of some people. We must not allow that effort to go into oblivion. Some of our youth today are into so many unenviable ventures, Yahoo, and the rest. You understand? So, and some of them are also happy doing this thing. But while we were growing up, we had this notion that building this country should be our focus. And that was why we lost considerable number of our friends, our colleagues, our comrades in the struggle for us to have democracy. The sustenance of democracy at a point rested on our shoulders, and we did what we could. So the youth of Lagos, especially Oshodi, also deserve to take up the gauntlet from where some of us are also living. Because there's no way at 50-something plus that I will not be worn out. I've been in traffic for over 30 years. So I expect, and I'm still expecting, our youth to go into ventures that are legitimate, that will turn around the fortune of this country. And we have a brilliant, very sound mind youth. But why? You know, but if you continue, you cannot continue to castigate without providing solution. That's my
case. And comrade, I think you'll still be much available to take some questions. Now, and we are discussing synergy. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
No, I'm not hearing you.
Hello? I think from your side, maybe you should get the episode. Okay. And talking of synergy, and that is our focus this evening in this episode. That's our focus. Talking of synergy, we should be able to work together as a team. Now, that's why we said, I think from your point of view, you are trying to prepare people for political activities. Now, political activities as elapsed is going to come back by 2022-2023. That's why political activity will be resumed back. So for now that political activities has elapsed, so we want to do the governance. Now, in formation of local government and hierarchy, I think the councillors, the Lagos State House of Assembly member, the LAHA, the MFR, and the mayor himself form an hierarchy in Oshodi. Now, how possible best can they work together? Because we have seen and we have noticed that what actually what is affecting them to work is this, that, and this is taking us back as a community. Now that the new mayor is out now, like for example, I think the first week immediately after he was sworn in as the new mayor, the Adeyemi Street started construction, and to our surprise, some people are saying is Kendu, is Shokunle, is this and that. We are not interested in that. What we are interested in, a developed community. So how possible best? I so much believe, and comrade Amzat, I see your hand. I'm going to release it very soon. I so much believe that you are the chief media press to the mayor in town. So how possible do you think is ready to work as a team? Because working as a team, we just mentioned that getting a link from federal government or Lagos state government, since we have a rep there, it's very easy to liaise with us. So we will even know who is doing this and who is doing that. How possible with the new mayor is ready to work with all the hierarchy within the local government? You have to unmute yourself, sir.
Immediately after the primary election, in his magnanimity, he refused to take it as winner takes all. He reached out to all other aspirants to say, okay, let us work together for the progress of our party and the development of our local government. Some answered him, some sent representatives. And the campaigns were run together by all these people. I can say that boldly. Immediately after election, even before election, immediately after, in the course of the election, the electioneering campaigns, I was in the team that went to meet the Honorable Commissioner for Housing Lagos State, Honorable Moruf Akindele Fatai. That was when the mayor, as elected then, left his office to go and meet with him on the way forward. And the commissioner was really surprised that such will come. And they formed a synergy which metamorphosed into what we have on another day, but that's the case for another day. Then secondly, since he assumed office, he has assured that it's not going to be winner takes all. That informing his government, he will reach out to others, the MHR, the LAHA member, everybody will be part of that process. And since the assumption of office, all these projects and programs have been tabled before some of these people. We'll say, okay, what can we do? Let us complement ourselves. You see, as at now, the Sumu Street is undergoing repair, being handled by the local governments. As at this afternoon, I can tell you for free that one of them, I want you to do your investigation, one of them is hanging solar-powered street lights. That will tell you the synergy that is existing presently, unlike what we had in the past. I want to assure you that, I want to tell you for free that we have a mayor that listens, that is also ready to form a synergy with whoever is ready to form synergy with him to move Oshodi forward. And like I said,
sorry, comrade. And that's a portion of your language, I think, and as a patriotic citizen of Oshodi, that whosoever is ready. No, I think you should be able to work and make sure everybody is ready.
Listen. There's no way you can force people to work with you. The only thing is you have majority on your side if you want to work. You understand? And those who are ready to work will work with the mayor too is ready to work with everybody, provided they are also ready to work with him. That's where I'm driving at. But the fact remains that
sorry, sir. Sorry, coming. Sorry for cutting you short. I'm coming. Sorry, sir. Yeah. No, let me get, so that I can round it up very fast. What I'm saying is this. So in the case that he is trying to make sure people work with him as a team, and results are not showing forth, me and you, we agree that we are going to have the same result we had during the last regime.
No.
If they are not ready to work with him together. No. So in the case that they're not ready to work, okay.
What I'm saying is that when we have majority on the side, look, the politics is about conflict and conflict resolution. If you understand me very well. When you are in a political contest, there will be oppositions. But once election is over, definitely there will be leadership, and the next will be how to move the party as well as the government forward, especially the local government, which is what we are talking about now. But what I'm saying in essence is this, very clearly, that Mr. Mayor is ready and willing to work with everybody. And that was why I specifically mentioned that street. I was there this afternoon. I just left there not quite 2 hours. To say, okay, somebody, one of them, is already mounting street lights on the small streets that the government of Oshodi is also rehabilitating, which shows that there is synergy between them. But what I'm saying in essence is this, that no matter what, there will still be modicum of disagreement. But that does not preclude the fact that there is no synergy. There is synergy, but there will always be people who might not 100% like what he's doing. So, but that's how I'm saying. So I'm saying in the sense that, look, Mr. Chairman is ready to work with everybody. We are also, his doors are always open, and he has meeting those who are concerned on how to move local government forward, and it's getting the desired result. I can assure you of that.
Okay, thank you, sir. And if we have Comrade Amzat, you can unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Comrade Galadima. I believed, in fact, at inception, I'm very delighted having Comrade Soloki on board. That he is really making an headway to the cause of struggle. First and foremost, I want to appreciate our guest speaker. He has shed light on today's deliberation. Mr. Soloki,
yes,
but having you around today is really going to change the perspective at which you are looking at the whole ball game. Yeah, we are all on ground. The last deliberation is as if the Mr. Chairman is with us, and he's really singing a new song in the entire Oshodi, which is highly applauded by every one of us. But going by our topic, and this has been our cry, which I don't know, like what Comrade Galadima put before you the other time, which I was not too impressed, that those that at least we can see other local governments. I saw something yesterday. I said there is a construction in Mafoluku Grammar School. I saw that of St. Paul. And I called someone. I said, why can't we have similar thing? And I look at it from presidency. This one, MHR facilitated it. It is not too, at least, well, it's a welcome development, but not too good for us because it causes some problem there. I believe in this case, had it been there is a cohesion between our representatives from the MHR to the mayor to the LAA, who will get more results. And Oshodi, being as what is known for, it should be a center of industrialization, which I believe the synergy between these elements will give us a more result that we all needed. And if one is not, and the other is, I don't know where this will lead us to. I believe that's what Galadima is telling us the other time, that automatically it will result to the previous past experience, which we don't want to reoccur. You told us something now, Dosumu, a street light being popped up there, fine. But are you telling us that the MHR, the mayor is not the one that is doing everything on his own? But where there is cooperation between these very representatives, both from the commissioner to the LAA to the MHR, automatically will be at comfort at the end of the day. And more so, before I cut it up there, we are targeting 100 days. What will not happen after 100 days in office? So is that going to be hard, or is going to put a stop to the little he is giving us now? But if this area is being looked into automatically, I believe everyone wants Oshodi to be developed, so that when you yourself, you are a senior comrade to every one of us here, I believe come tomorrow, it's going to be a center page for you to champion your cause. That when I was the chief press secretary to the Oloede and Maruf government, this is our achievement. which you two will make use of as a center of reference, that every one of us will, oh no, he's saying the fact, automatically we can acknowledge this person to give our own support. So
Okay,
I
thank
don't want
you.
us to turn everything to a politics. Thank you,
yeah.
Galadima.
Okay.
Sorry, sir. Comrade Benga Soloki. So let's get somebody, but then answer the question together. Comrade Alaba Ogunleye, can you unmute yourself and make a contribution? Alaba Ogunleye. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. At least we are getting there day by day. Very soon we'll get to Oshodi for our dream. I'm very happy to be, as I said there. I just want that coping and working with what the topic says. I want us to have like a synergy been prepared by all on this table. There's a particular guy, he has been on most platforms and crying that there is that they have a list. I think it works with the Laha. If truly the Laha that want to facilitate upliftment of some streets in our local government, and they have a particular list they are planning to work with in conjunction with Lagos State government, why don't we have like a round table with the council chairman? That's whereby if they have a list they are planning to work with the council, so that since we are planning to have a synergy, the council chairman will go into another street. By so doing, it will not be in conflict with any other person. If the state is planning to rehabilitate a particular street, the council chairman can move to another street. By so doing, before we know it, the issue of development will continue to work and move around the society without us having any conflict. But in the situation whereby a person, as the guy said, he said they have it in plan, and among what they have in mind was to work on the Sumo Street. Fine. Now the council chairman is working on the Sumo Street. Had it been they've had this synergy earlier before now, we might have decided to leave the street to Lagos State, and the council chairman can as well move to another street. By so doing, we don't need to even have any conflict whatsoever. We're all from the same political party, APC. It will have been like a yo-yo sort of if we have another party in power, maybe in Laha or in the MHR. But luckily for us, I love that synergy has been illustrated by Honorable Loki. That I want to let the cat out of the bag. That the MHR is working and is putting a street light on a street that is being rehabilitated by the state, by the local government. Fine. Oh, that's as our people will say, I want the Sumuno Jello. Today it's for the good of people of the Sumu Street. They have a walking road. They have a street light had been proposed and been done by the member of the House of Representatives. I'm very particular about roads now. The assembly member has proposed by one of his that's one of his members said they have a list. If truly they have a list, we can work out a synergy with the council chairman wherever they are planning to pull the Lagos State government to come and work in our local government. The council chairman can as well go to adjoining street or any other street closer to that place. Before we know it, this thing will go on rather than having conflict of interest on a particular street or number of streets around Oshodi. If you can easily work on this, the people on the street, they don't want to know which party is doing this. Hello?
Hello, we are with you. We are with you.
Okay, I'm that sure people that's development. It will come to a day. People will not mind who has tied a particular road. If I can put my car on the road and I have a very worthy road to use a worthy car on, I'll be very fine. Rather than and it will surely say places of who must have done this, but we should not be shy of the fact that by leaving a particular street to someone, by having a synergy and working with that person, to make development easily to go around our community without us having any answers. That's just my little contribution today. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, and Comrade Alabogunle. I really love that your contribution. I think and Senior Comrade and Soloki is taking all those things down and is going to relate with the chairman. And is anybody in the house with other contribution? Okay, Comrade Soloki, can you?
Yeah, sorry, Comrade Konigagbe is raising his hand.
Okay,
so
okay.
Let's recognize him.
Okay.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very happy to be in your midst. And I really appreciate those people that put this thing in place. The Almighty God will continue to be with you and strengthen you.
Amen.
Now, also the local government has been a priority to some of us. And there are many of us, including myself, that have been working behind the scene. It's not everybody that will come out for an election or elected position, but there are some that have been working behind the scene. I can categorically say I've been one of those people that have been working behind the scene in Oshodi. And then I'm very happy that the present administration now is trying to use all the synergy that both the House of Rep, House of Assembly, the chairman's office, and any elected office holders will be able to come up together and make a development in Oshodi. One of the problems we are having in Oshodi in the past was being everybody want to be their own boss, and there was no any synergy. I will give you, let me just go back a little bit. When it comes to issue of public works in Oshodi, I've been one of those people that went to Alausa. And by the time you get to Alausa, you see that most of the roads in Oshodi Solo has been tied. They will tell you Oshodi Solo have been tied. So when I say, okay, bring out this book, let's see it. You find out that most of the roads that have been done are in Solo or Ejibo, SCDA, which we fought. And then now, I don't want us to drag the issue of I'm the one that I brought this project or the other person that brought this project. All our elected or appointed office holder should try to harmonize things. If you have presented a proposal to government to rehabilitate a road in your constituency, please get in touch with the chairman. This is the roads I've given to the state to assist us. If you want to do the road, so that there will not be a double submission of the road, so that the chairman will know that this is the road that I'm going to do, and this is the one I'm not going to do. That's number one. Then number two, on the issue of all these development we are having here and there now, we have to think about how do we maintain all those things. I will tell you one thing now. Look at just those sumu that are being rehabilitated now. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 months now, somebody may want to put water in their own house, and you just see them, they will just cut that road. It might be one of the political office holder, it might be a big man in the society, and nobody will go there to challenge him because there's no proper monitoring. If you look at, I wrote an article yesterday, I said there's a need for a proper monitoring of any project. The street lights we have, I've been involved in installation of many street lights in our local government. But you find out that when you install that street light, the power, the solar lights that power that the street light always have a particle on them, so that about 6 months, the battery will not charge again. What do we do? The project will be abandoned. Now, I will expect the chairman to liaise with the CDC that any project you have finished, like that Osumu that they are doing now, let the chairman liaise with the CDC and say, okay, we are about to finish doing this road and we want to put a solar light for you there. But the maintenance of the solar light should now rest with the CDA. The CDA in return will now get in touch with the landlord association. They might have an electrician in that street that maybe once in every 6 months, that electrician will just go on top of that pole and try to clean that solar. And we'll continue to have a consistent power supply. But if such a thing is not in place, it will not augur well. That's one. The number two, and thirdly again, the media aids to various office holders, we should be mindful of what we say in the public. It's not everything that you react to. I'm very happy that Comrade Sholoki has the required experience to handle that office. But it's not many things that you reacted to. There are certain things that some people will write and you acted on it, but not publicly. And you advise the chairman accordingly. It might not be to your own benefit, but to the benefits of the whole public. So I appreciate everybody for what we are doing in Oshodi, but let's still be a continuous synergy on all our office holder. God bless everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir, for that. We really appreciate. And this is the little we can give to our community. And if we have a developed community, it is for our own benefit. And as you have rightly said, I think the essay to the chairman of media is also here, and it will surely take all this down to him. And that is why I think we cannot discuss this. We cannot finish this discussion today. This is for us to open for a broader discussion in the next edition. And it is our collective effort to come together and make Oshodi great again. Oshodi is our pride, and Oshodi is our own home. And this is what we can do now to stabilize everything in Oshodi. And Comrade Benga Soloki is trying to connect back so that I can respond to the observation raised by Comrade Amzat. And then speaking, I want to appreciate our Comrade Soloki, you've not activated your audio. Your audio is not on. Comrade Soloki, you can't hear us. Your audio is not on. Your audio is not on. You can't hear us. Okay. While we are still waiting for him to activate his audio, so let's.
Is it there?
It's there, but his audio is not. Yes, but his audio is not on yet. His audio is not on yet. Okay. And any other contribution in the house? Okay, his audio is on now. Okay,
you can unmute now. You can unmute so that you can come on board. Unmute your audio.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you're on. Your video, sir. Your video.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. You have moved yourself back. Oh. Okay, comrade, you are.
The other. One is affecting the other in his network there.
Okay. I think his video is on now. It's meant his audio.
Me now?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Number one, let me thank my brother Amzat and Comrade Alabagula. But let me say this. There's no one in this administration that will not want synergy, because it will help us. It will help the government. It will help the people that are being governed. And I want to say that Mr. Chairman is very key into having a synergy with all other political office holders, which I have continuously maintained. Two, somebody mentioned the fact that they ought to have sat down to have, I think that had been done. Those ranting on social media are just ranting. I want to assure that all those concerned, Laha and the chairman had met on the list of the roads to be done in Oshodi using Lagos State's public works cooperation, and the one to be handled by the local government. That has been spelled out. That I can tell you for free. So no matter what, there will be misinformation sometimes. So, but I want to assure you that gray areas are being cleared by those concerned. And I want to say that progress so far in the area of rural rehabilitation, like I mentioned, Mr. Chairman in his electoral campaign promised that 20 roads will be rehabilitated. And I can say for free in answering my brother Onibagbe that Mr. Chairman had called severally on the CD and CDC to take ownership of the projects so that the maintenance, especially the boreholes, so that the maintenance will be done by them, so that they will monitor, because we want a durable project. We want durable projects, not something that you do in 3 months. They are going to go. No, that is why Mr. Chairman has said, CDA, CDC, hand over, take ownership of these projects, and that's another one. Then also asking that what are the programs so far so good? At least just less than 60 days in office, I'm very sure. Less than 60 days in office. Mr. Chairman had awarded about 10 routes already, which I'm aware of, and which some are ongoing. Some contractors will resume tomorrow. 2 contractors resumed this morning. And I'm sure that by tomorrow, contractors will still resume. So, and it's a continuous process. He's not going to rest on his spouse. He has the love of the people of Oshodi at heart. And that's why he hardly sleeps, because he feels that, yes, he made a promise and he must fulfill those promises. So I want to assure everybody that, look, while we appreciate constructive criticism and chastising where necessary, the fact remains that the government of Otunbaka and Developmental seem very, very much in tune with the reality on ground. That yes, we met a very, very deplorable state of our roads, but that does not mean that as members of the same party, we will not do our job. And for people who have especially given their mandate to Mr. Chairman, I'm so confident. I'm so confident that he will not disappoint, and that he has been telling those who are going to work with him and those who are already working with him that, look, I made a promise, and I want to assure people that I will deliver on those promises. Please, I want to also have it at the back of our minds that he is a success in his private practice and is bringing that to bear on public governance. So be rest assured that whatever he says, he is sure of fulfilling those promises. So, and I want to say that there is synergy, there is cohesion, especially between all the 3 of them, or 4 of them, so to say, assembly, rep, and commissioner. They are always talking and looking for a way forward. But like I said, there might be misinformation on the part of some over-serious aides that you cannot rule out, or you cannot rule out. But I am telling you that, look, severally, Mr. Chairman had interfaced. And you remember, during the last constituency meeting, stakeholders meeting held by the member of Laha, Mr. Chairman praised him and said, yes, you have done well. And which is to show his magnanimity. Even the reps, they are always together. So, especially the commissioner, very wonderful brother. So let us be rest assured that Oshodi, this time around, is in safe hands.
Okay, thank you, comrade. I want to appreciate many people are online with us, and both on YouTube and on this Zoom link. And we don't have much time on our side, and we are trying to manage our resources. Data is also live, the resources. So we are trying to manage our resources over here. And before we close the curtain for today, and the last mayor, he did a day with mayor. The last mayor did a day with mayor. Now, I wanted to believe this, that this platform is not particular centered on a political platform. It's centered on beliefs, patronics, real patronics of Oshodi citizen. We are putting our community first. Just now, the reason why we have been allowed to be mentioned APC that, APC this, is because we believe APC is the ruling party in our local government. And the chairman is not alone for the APC family. The chairman, the mayor in question is for all citizens of Oshodi local government. And we appreciate that. And we are believing that the chairman is also planning a day with him where we are going to sit down with him and discuss as a citizen.
Well, let me assure you, it is not going to be a day. It's going to be a session or sessions with the mayor. Is very open. We are running an open door policy. So it is not just a day with the mayor. It's going to be sessions with the mayor. It's already in the offering. The rest assured of that.
Okay, take it. Okay, that is taken. Before I invite Comrade Amzat for the closing.
So, okay. Yeah, thank you, Comrade. Otuba Soloki, you said it's going to be a session. Well, I believe before then, you were in the last edition of the Day with Mayor we did then. Most of those things said, I doubt if any of this was addressed. However, most of these things, we have a to-do list as the Mature League is concerned. And what assurances are you giving us that aside the developmental stride we are experiencing now, that most of our yearnings and aspirations will be considered for the paramount interest of Oshodi citizens at large?
Well, I want to say this, like I did mention, Mr. Chairman is a son of the soil. He's one of us. He's passionate about Oshodi. He's passionate about the youth of Oshodi. And I want to assure that definitely whatever he says, he fulfills. And I also want to reiterate that it is not just coming to sit down with him. It's about coming with cogent issues that can transform society. It's not just about talking. It's about all of us, contributing our quotas to the development of Oshodi. The development is not about the mayor alone or his government. If you come to the table empty-handed, you don't do anything. So as people who are concerned, who are desirous of change, we should also be ready to bring something to the table to transform our society. I want to assure you that Mr. Chairman, on his own part, is ready and willing to do whatever would transform this local government. He has assured that a new ocean is possible with me, and it will always be possible with him, with your cooperation and with your support. And that's why I will say that no matter what, we'll call for a meetings now to say, okay, let us brainstorm with the mayor. Then you should also be ready to bring ideas to transform. And because, like people say, ideas rule the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, comrade. Okay, there's a particular person, Gihone S2. Please can you unmute yourself? And what is your name, sir?
Hello. Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello. Good afternoon. It's nice to be here again. Yeah, I've listened to all the conversation. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the outgone CPS and
yes,
the
can hear you.
CPS.
Yeah, okay, you can hear me. See, I've listened to all the discussion carefully. To God be the glory. What really matters for also the people, and as I keep telling whoever is closer to me, is development of my community. Because every leader comes and they go, but our community remains. Now, how are we going to achieve this development? You see, any development without peace means nonsense. But to achieve that greater development, unity and peace should be the first thing. What did I mean? See, many people, I believe, after the party primary, whatever that they've done, was reconciliation or whatever, everybody should move in unity. But what do we see today? We saw a lot of people coming online talking and where people supposed to have cautioned them. Because we experience it. And I'm just talking from experience. And that is the reason why the new administration need to roll out a spokesperson so that the public will know them and be able to hold their statement. So wherever there is any issue, those people will be able to come and calm the situation. Also, lastly, there is no government that will run without people criticizing it. Even if Oshodi is turned to America today, some people will still criticize because there will always be issues. Because people want information, just as somebody said, information is life, just as data is life. So there will be some information that people don't know, that we in the local government at times might think, oh, we've passed all out the information. But another people will look at it from a very different angle. That is why I will appeal to this administration to listen when people complain. I remember when I was having a discussion while I was CPS with somebody. I told him, I said, the people that complain, me that I'm in the office, I should not reason that they are stupid. There must be reason why they complain. It's either you listen to them, calm them, and say, okay, don't worry, noted, we will act on it. Rather than sending dice or insult, go to APCV, another platform. Sometimes I read through and I just say, this is absolute nonsense. We don't have to come online to malign anybody to do. Last administration is gone. He has gone. It's just like when APC just come in, do this, they will say, oh, Jonathan did this. Forget about that. We need to move on. And I think that should be the message we need to preach to our people. Because government is continuous. Even if this administration go, another one will come, it's continuous. But the greater part of it is Oshodi will be the most beneficial of it if we have everything done. Then again, lastly, on those roads, let me just address my CPS. See, for the roads, please kindly ensure you monitor the quality. Because it really matters. You see, people will tend to eat you with some things that you might not even think of. I'm talking from experience, and that is why you don't have to lose your temper most of the time. You've got to cool down. You hear some certain things from some certain people. All what you need to do is calm down. That is why you see, if I just don't talk online, but whenever there is issue that I step in, people tend to believe more in me because of maturity and the way I see things. Attack doesn't help anybody. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
Madam Afsat.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for all your contributions. I think this is going to, I'm glad that we have a representative of the new mayor. And this is going to you. And today's topic has to do with synergy. And the synergy shouldn't be just the chairman, the LAHA, the MHR, and then I think the commissioner. The synergy also has to involve the councillors and every entire members of Oshodi Solo. Then I think something in your statement, you said the mayor is ready to listen and work with everybody. That's a good one. That's a good quality of a leader. Then what does he need to do? What measure or is he putting in place to also carry along the minority who are not ready? Because it's normal, such will happen. How does he plan to resolve all that? Yes, it's not about APC. Oshodi is not about APC, PD. So what does he need to do? He needs to carry everybody along if he wants his good job to go places. So it's just like we're in a family. We need to bring, yes, in every family we have traditional rulers, we have differences, but we also live together. So it shouldn't be about the majority. It should also carry along the minority. Then secondly, for the youth, you mentioned something about most of them going astray. What does it have in stock for the youth? Also in terms of employment, some youths are unemployed. What does it have in stock for the youth? Then for the roads, yes, we appreciate all facilitators of the road. Then we have roads that are into streets, like Josumo now is linking out to Adeyemi. And I think we also have roads that are also like Lemo linking to that Adeyemi. So I want to believe that if such inner roads are also fixed, it would not spoil the good work of the synergy. That's Adeyemi Road, because we've been really be craving for it, and we really thank all facilitators. So if the chairman can look into some of those roads, so as not to spoil the good job. And like my honorable, the wise one has said, quality of materials used really matters a lot. So we're glad for the good work we are saying, and we hope this good work continues in Oshodi Solo local government. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. We sincerely appreciate everybody for joining. And the next edition is going to be in October. We will surely communicate the date to us as well. And before the year, the one that will end this year around November or December, we are planning it to be physical. By that time, we are going to evaluate the work done by the mayor, because by December, it's going to be 6 months old. 6 months old. That is, we are counting from June. By December, it will be 6 months old. If 5 months, if somebody's shaking his head, come Solo Key, you're shaking your head. How many months old, sir?
Let me just correct one thing.
Okay, okay.
I think it was sworn in on the 27th of July, precisely.
Okay, okay, July. Okay, that is 5 months. Okay, 5 months, correct.
But let me just quickly respond to what you have just mentioned. On the issue of inner roads, before these roads were adopted for rehabilitation, the accessibility was looked into. The level of digitization was looked into. So, and this is just a stopgap thing for us to mark 100 days in office. Do you understand? So, definitely, like we have advised, we will still continue to do more roads as time progresses. But we are looking at 20 roads in 100 days. That's what we're trying to do. Then, two, on the issue of criticism, nobody. If you watch on some of our platforms, especially the APCB, you will see the chairman even ask, telling people, no, it's not going to be business as usual. At least, yes, I can still remember this afternoon or this morning. He still answered somebody to say, okay, it's not going to be business as usual. So that is the type of person we have at the terms of affairs, who is ready to listen and ready to take corrections. But we will not just down on people because of the fact that we are not seeing ourselves because we are online. So that is not correct. But I have, and if except the wise man will not want to say the truth, I don't encourage such. I don't encourage maligning each other or slandering. No, I don't like it. I detest it. So, and I'm so sure that the chairman would not accept such from any of our people. And that I can assure you of. Then also you talk about majority being carried along. So far, you are a resident or a worker or a business owner in Oshodi Solo. You are a stakeholder. I don't know what you mean by majority or minority, but the government of Otumba Kehinde Almaroof Oloyede is for every one of us in Oshodi. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So as you have been able to correct that notion, by December it's going to be 5 months in office. 5 months in office. So we are planning to have a physical roundtable discussion whereby we're going to evaluate this platform. We're trying to build our stability. We're trying to build our maturity. We're trying to build our confidence, because many people believe that we are faceless, and we're trying to bring people that are discussed. That is why, of recent, I don't engage on WhatsApp platform again, because I try to understand that many people engaging on WhatsApp platform are faceless. So if you are real, let's meet physical, let's meet online where I can see my senior comrade now. I know he's once talking. It's not a clone account It's not somebody. So I can say him directly. I can say him now. So we are looking that we want to build the maturity of our citizen in Oshodi, beyond a WhatsApp warrior, beyond a social media warrior. That even though when we stand as 2, 3, or 4, we are seeing the light and development of our community first. So that when we are making position and we are taking decision, it is in the interest, positive interest of our community, not as an individual. So by next edition, we're going to come out with a very enlightening topic like the one we discussed today as well. And the door is open for everybody. We are still building. As at today, we are just 3 as an admin that is putting all this together, and we welcome ideas. We welcome people to join us. That's why I said it is open. Like our speaker today, and Comrade Ajibola Yusuf, I think I'm seeing it for the first time. And to me, he has been able to explain and make a foundation of what synergy should be. And after he has made that, we're able to discuss, and we have reached a conclusion. And we're also happy that we're having the chief press secretary in our midst, which we believe is going to table all this resolution to the mayor to see into them and look into them. And we'll be happy. The only thing I want to achieve is that seeing our community being developed. That is only goal I want to achieve. And we believe with the new mayor, we are going to achieve that. Okay, comrade.
Lastly, I hope you will honor our invitation to one of the commissioning, either to be done by Mr. Governor or by his deputy. I hope 1 or 2 will honor our invitation.
Okay, thank you. No problem, sir. We surely glad to be there. We are together. No, thank you. Over to you, comrade Afsat Ibrahim, as we round up, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. The last on our agenda is closing remark. I sincerely want to appreciate our guest speaker in this person of Comrade Yusuf Jamiu Ajibola, the Chief Press Secretary to the Local Government Chairman of Oshodi Solo Local Government, my able co-moderators, Comrade Galadima, Comrade OGH. I really want to appreciate everybody taking time out of your busy schedule for us to discuss on this roundtable on the way forward as to Oshodi Solo Local Government. On behalf of the entire Oshodi Matured League team, we thank everyone for your involvement and willingness, and we are truly inspired by your contributions. Lastly, we can we are live streamed on YouTube. So for those that were not able to join the meeting, and if you want to also catch up with recap from previous sections, just log on to our YouTube page, Oshodi Matured League, and then subscribe. Thank you very much. See you same time next month.